Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Harakakadash. The bonus to the apostles and the elders, great meal, son, Rawah, and Shalom to the brothers doing the work necessary in truth. Yeah, got this article on the Daily Star. And it's, that mad scientist, that fucking lunatic Elon Musk. And it's, this guy's being used, he's being used, the main thing he's being used for is, that mark, that implantable chip. Because that's one of his first companies that he set up. I think it was, maybe it was Tesla first. I think it was Tesla first, and then SpaceX, going into space, which, we recently had, which that's in prophecy. That's in prophecy. You can have the elites, trying to get off into space, to escape their judgment. And Neuralink, which is about them implantable brain chips, which, man's already got the monkey getting it. The monkey had it. It was moving around, the joystick. Well, it wasn't even using it. Well, it was using the joystick to move the cursor around. Then they unplugged it, and it was just, the brainwaves doing it. So that's what this guy is being utilized for. Pushing that out, and the result of that is, shit. It's kind of funny. But now he's got this new thing. Man's trying to bring about what is it, iRobot. So this is what Elon Musk unveils: 5'8" humanoid robot that won't need to be told what to do. Which this whole thing, like anyone with a brain, should be thinking this shit is becoming a dystopian future. Like, as far as what is being pushed out here, it's actually just, we're in the midst of a Hollywood movie, a Hollywood flick, and basically all these things that basically lead it, the Esau, for these elites, they desire for them to have an endless, perpetual rule over the people, they will come into pass. Them being able to just, fly off into their Elysium in space. Them being, the people being, essentially useless. And that's why, you have, on the Georgia Guidelines, it says about maintaining humanity under 500 million. When there's, near enough 8 billion people on the planet Earth. Yeah, it's kind of wild. That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. That's what they got going down. This is what Elon Musk has announced: a 5'8" Tesla bot, a humanoid robot prototype that will be unveiled next year. Some people have criticized the announcement as nothing but a dream. Which, this is Esau basically trying to really just show like he's got the keys to everything. This guy can can produce and bring about anything the Most High can do, which is really what he's been trying to do, man, through his technology, man. That technology that was gifted to him, that wisdom that was given to him, to bring about certain things. The main thing is that mark, the nuclear missiles, man. Those are the two key prophecies. Because a lot of that, like microchip technology, transistor technology, those things being developed is for the sake of the mark. And that nuclear missile technology as well, where you got the rocket technology, which gets you into space. That's also used for the ICBMs. And, the nuclear warheads as well. Which that's also part of, the weak saying I'm strong. Everyone, that getting spread out to everyone, when at one point it was just Esau that was rocking with it. So yeah, funny as hell. That's but that's Esau's puffed up with pride off the back of being able to do these things. Um, Executive Elon Musk on Thursday said the electric automaker will probably launch a Tesla bot humanoid robot prototype next year. The robot will reportedly be 5 foot 8 inches tall and designed for dangerous, repetitive, or boring work that people don't like to do. And the implications of that is just like the economy's over, because then it's just it's the same thing with that whole automation they've been talking about. You get robots to do everything, then you're gonna have billions of people out of the job, and then everyone's just gonna be relying on payments of the government. So that's that dystopian future where it's like, okay, you're gonna have to get down with whatever the government says, because that's how the government gets done. They'll say if you want, they'll do it for funding, like a lot of schools, universities and whatnot, hospitals, etc. Any like place that gets government funding, the government will say, okay, well, if you want to get your funding, you got to do X, Y, Z. So this is what, speaking at Tesla's AI Day event, the billionaire entrepreneur said the robot would be able to fulfill duties like picking up shopping and carrying out mechanical work on cars. Which that sounds like, we can wait and see. Because funny enough, the majority of car construction is done by robots now anyway. I think pretty much all of it is mechanized. Pretty much all car production is mechanized anyway. That was a big fuss. Remember, like, even when I was in school, like fucking forever ago, Jesus, I went to a car factory. Well, actually, no, I think they were only producing parts at the time. But it used to be a full on Ford car factory, and then they were only what do you call it, producing parts. And then it was, even then, like, I remember they said they had like the last car that they built in the factory was there in the entrance lobby, like where everyone signed it. And then even then, it was like they were producing parts, but it was likely they were going to be shut down, and the vast majority of jobs were gone. Like it was yeah, it was a wrap, man. Man, we're done. And that's really, like, a lot of that stuff's just gone overseas, because like it's like with the UK, you used to have like and this is kind of how all that kind of independence and people being able to like make do, everything's become centralized, man. Like, that's why in the UK, most people, if they want to make money, they're going into London, and that's why you got everyone piling into rooms in London, people coming from around the globe to come to London. Because why? Because that's the only place you can come to make money, and that's why they used to have like money. Used to have a couple of industries outside, car production, all these kinds of things, and they just got chipped away at and then sent overseas because it was cheaper, and now people are through. So all they can do is be on the dole or whatever, or work at fucking Tesco's or some shit, or move to London. And you got to play within the system of how the elite set these things up. So this is, and that's how Esau gets down. Esau's about grinding the people down to meal, and that's what these things are done. Because even with that's, I mean, if you can watch documentaries, a lot of people that live like in way more remote areas, places that were kind of built up, they might have just been like mining towns. They might have been based around certain tasks, certain roles. That shit's it's a wrap. Like, man are taking trains for 2 hours to get to work, because that's how done it is. So it says what? Ah, okay. Yeah. The CEO claimed the robot would have profound implications for the economy, adding it was important to make the machine not super expensive. Some question whether Musk, who has had a history of announcing technology advances at showpiece events, only to scale plans down later on, was being fully truthful with his claims about the Tesla bot. It sounds like fucking cap, a lot of that shit, but who knows what the true purpose is of announcing it anyway. It says, is the Tesla bot the next dream shot to pump up the hype machine, said Raj. And that's the thing, is people buy into it anyway. Because like them Teslas are meant to have issues for days anyway. But people are all bought into the hype. It says, what is the Tesla bot the next dream shot to pump up the hype machine, said Raj Kumar, professor of electrical and computer engineering at Carnegie Mellon University. I can safely say it'll be much longer than 10 years before a humanoid bot from any company on the planet can go to the store and get groceries for you. Yeah, but then like the announcement has value anyway, because it just puts that mindset out there. Because there's the self-driving stuff as well, but apparently it was saying you'd need UBI to universal basic income to kind of be a thing. That was another article I didn't check, but that's what the vibe that it pushes toward, man. The energy is pushing towards is where it's like, okay, you're gonna then go from expectations of, okay, yeah, gonna be doing work and what, like how life's structured, to where it's you're getting your stim checks and you're getting your UBI, and as well they're able to use this thing, this C, as a justification as well towards it. There's multiple angles by which this thing can go. Yeah, funny as hell. Ezekiel 28:2 says, Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus, thus saith the Most High Power, because thine heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am a God, I sit in the seat of God, in the midst of the seas, yet thou art a man and not God, though thou set thine heart as the heart of God. Yeah, that's what all these things, all this Esau's trying to do, like reinventing the wheel. He's basically trying to become the Most High. He's trying to supplant the Most High's position and be like, yeah, he's jeez, and be like he himself. He himself is the one that everyone's gonna be looking for. He's able to anything the Most High can do. So okay, so the weather I can do this. Okay, for the plants I can do this. Okay, for creating people I can do this. Oh, if you want to have kids, you don't want to have open and closing the womb. All these different things. Esau's, he's got his bootleg versions of how they run. That's what he's trying to do. But it's it's an imitation. It's lame. It's fake, bro. And that's same with same with these robots. Same with the mark, because you got the Fawah, the exemption from judgment, the mark of the Heavenly Father. Then you got Esau's mark, the MOTB. And that's the mark that will lead you into destruction, man. So Esau's, just a wicked mirror, trying, through all forms of madness and wickedness, trying to do the same thing, man. Which, that's all he can do. All he can do is madness and wickedness, man. It says, Behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret they can hide from thee. With thy wisdom and with thine understanding thou hast gotten thee riches, and hast gotten gold and silver into thy treasures. By thy great wisdom and by thy traffic hast thou increased thy riches, and thine heart is lifted up because of thy riches. Yeah, that's it. That heart, that pump, that arrogancy is built up because of why? Because he's been given this wisdom, he's been given this technology, he's been given the capability of to rule. So then what? he's now thinking like, and it's gone on for a little spell. He's had his little season where there's been, he's not been held to account. He's not been judged. So he's thinking, fuck it, I'm gonna run with it. I'm gonna run with it till the wheels fall off. Which, hey, that's in his spirit to do. But hey, ain't gonna work out in the long term, mate. Because as far as there's that limit point where you hit. Once you hit it, it's a wrap. The bounds have been set. You can't pass. But yeah, I'll leave it there. Shalom. Shalom.